Eating chips while playing can get your controls greasy. Try pretzels, crackers, or baby carrots. Good advice. Insurgency Sandstorm is a first-person shooter brought to you by New World Interactive and Focus Home Interactive. It focuses heavily on tactical team gameplay that feels reminiscent of Rainbow Six Siege. Death is often a long-term punishment, which sounds a bit weird out of context, so you won't be finding yourself respawning and getting right back into the fight. You'll need to make your shots count, and it doesn't take many to secure a kill. Objective-based gameplay incites the action with a small but interesting variety of game modes with both cooperative play against AI opponents, as well as ranked and unranked PvP modes for those players more interested in a competitive scene. As with most modern shooters, cosmetic rewards make up the majority of progression. Insurgency uses an in-game currency to purchase customization options, and that currency is awarded at the end of each game you play. This can feel a bit slow to earn, which is largely due to the pacing of the games. A PvP match can see you playing for at least 15 minutes, and most of my cooperative games stretch for almost half an hour, which feels very long for a small team FPS. When you factor in my skill level and the game modes that I preferred, I spent no small portion of those long game times watching other players play instead of me, so some games felt more punishing for making mistakes. Since Insurgency isn't a big-name title like Call of Duty or Battlefield, the community is much smaller, which can lead to a harsh new player experience. Almost everyone you matchmake with will have more experience than you when you get started, so you'll have an uphill battle to fight as you ascend the learning curve. How you play is largely determined by your loadout and class selection. Class customization is thorough, but the game limits how many teammates are able to be a specific class, so you won't find yourself on a team of nothing but snipers, and your team will have a good balance of classes. This can mean that your preferred playstyle will not be available to you when you start a game, especially if you have a longer loading time than your teammates. Playing outside your comfort zone can help you become a better player though, so learning some variety will help you out a lot. This is a welcome departure from the trend of hero abilities and hero classes that some modern FPS games have been following. Insurgency's sound is about what you would expect from a first-person shooter. Lots of characters yelling, deafening but realistic gunfire, and explosions, all leading to a chaotic orchestra of warfare. In sharp contrast is the voice communications, which are often too quiet and rarely used. Most of the chatter on voice comms is your typical FPS conversation about who's better than who and whose mother, etc., etc. A downside that can't be ignored or missed, however, is the graphics. The game feels years behind in appearance, with low-resolution textures, lots of pop-ins, and models that feel like they came from 2008 instead of 2018. In an otherwise solidly made game, the graphical issues are distracting and disappointing. How guns feel when you fire them is often a make or break of FPS enthusiasts, and Insurgency Sandstorm almost has it, but falls just short of the mark. Guns sound great, but there isn't enough feedback from firing to make it feel right. Recoil is either too high or non-existent, and there aren't any hit markers, although hit markers don't really fit the realism-focused design of this game. It wouldn't take much tweaking to have the gunplay feel just right. If you're able to get over the hump of being a new player in a harsh world of being outmatched, you'll find a lot of fun in Insurgency Sandstorm. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, but it instead just tries to make a really good wheel. It's not the prettiest wheel, but it gets the job done, and this game is worth giving a try. Insurgency Sandstorm is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, including Linux and Mac. Until the next review, this is MrTristifer, signing off.